because we already out of time. I'll go over to Samira to introduce our guest and tell us what we have on our talking point this morning. Samira, how are you? You are beautifully dressed this morning. How are you?
So just now, I'm not okay.
What was it?
Yeah. Because why I'll be talking now and the camera is not on me. Everybody knows in the building that I love camera. But anyway, that's not the issue. Okay, I'd like to say good morning to the peace and loving people of Liberia. Good morning to our regular followers. Those who follow this broadcast every day. Every day they follow Voice of Liberia. I'd like to say good morning to you. And good morning to everyone uh, in and out of Liberia. This is how we like to welcome you to another fascinating edition of Good Morning Liberia on your FM dial. So, Grace, how are you this morning? How was your night?
First of all, I'd like to publicly apologize for coming in late. Samurai and myself, we respect time a lot. And
Mm.
this morning we have a little issue. We've been here, but we had some little technical problems, so we apologize for starting at this time. But apart from that, Samurai, I'm okay.
Mm.
I'm kind of sick a little bit.
Yes,
But
the fourth.
yeah.
I'm noticing that the cold is all over.
Yeah, that's why you will be doing much of the talking today.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it. But it's nice to be here this morning again on Monday morning, and we are starting this week very fresh.
I
Yeah,
can see
we
that's why you neatly dressed in your Jamaican wear this
exactly,
morning.
exactly. So we are starting the week very fresh, and we'll have too many things to be discussed on this platform. So all of you should get ready and be able to stick still to your radio as we bring you updates as it relates to things that are happening within Liberia. So that's it.
Okay, so Samara, what do we have on our plate this morning?
All right. So as usual, we all know that from 7:30 to 8 o'clock um we can have the trendy issues, things that had been happening over the days or week. We can talk about them and bring them back to the knowledge of the people. We can have trendy issues from um 7:30 to 8. Then at 8 o'clock today, like today, as you all know, is a very busy season. It's the political season. So we will not do much of the talking today because we have two guests on our platform today for our two segments. So we have Fedela Patrick from our first segment, and that is from 8 to 9. He's going to be here telling the Liberian people what he's in our studio for and what he's about to do for the Liberian people. He's one of the candidates in Magibi. And we will also have um that's from 8 to 9, Fedela Patrick. And from 9 to 10, we're going to have Willette Cooper of District 13. And she's going to be here from 9 to 10 telling us what she's about to do in District 13. She's one of the candidates. She's going to be telling us some of the works that she had done within that district and why she decided to contest within District 13. So, like I said, it's the political season. So, we are going to have too many things going on within our studio here. Yeah, so we will be having these two on our platform today, Grace, so that they can be able to tell us what are some of the works they are about to do for the Liberian people and also or addressing their platform. So that's the two things we have on our plate for today. But from 7 to 8, and it's 7:47 already, we are going to take some trendy issues within the country or across the country. So we are with our guest, Fendela Patrick of Margibi County. I communicated with him not too long, and he said that he's on his way. Yeah, so shortly we will be receiving him. So if you are there, we would like to tell you to stick still to Voice of Liberia 104.1. We are located at Capital Bypass, and this is the program Good Morning Liberia. On this program, we'll only serve you or hot breakfast. And we have a hot cup of tea here this morning, which we are going to share with you this morning along with our guests. So if you are also following us on our Facebook platform, we would like to say keep following. You can drop a comment and it will be read out later. I am Samira Wawola, and Grace Williams Joshua is also here with me this morning. And she has a little cold. So
You'll not be talking much today.
okay, so and the blessed thing is we even have guests for today, so you won't talk too much. But I bet you if we weren't going to get guests for today, you were definitely going to talk. So that's it, guys. That's it. That's it this morning on Good Morning Liberia. So, Chris, let's talk about trending issues while we await our guest this morning.
Yeah,
We
go
uh,
ahead.
we had some discussions that we were to talk about this morning, but then we have guests already, so we just going to talk about some trending issues. I have this voice here. I would like to play it so that we can dive into it a little bit. And it's a big topic too, but we just want to say a little about it while we await our guests this morning. So this is Senator Dara Stillone, known as the Light. This is his voice, and I want to play it to the public so that they can hear what he's telling the Liberian people on camera.
Okay.
So let me play this guy voice.
It's not a reason our health sector is not resilient. Georgia is not the reason that we have a messy and weak education sector. Georgia is not the reason roads are not paved across this country. Georgia is not the reason electricity is not flowing across this country. Georgia inherited those things.
Okay, so Grace, I don't know if you came across this on the internet, but let me play it again.
Georgia is not the reason our health sector is not resilient. Georgia is not the reason that we have a messy and weak education sector. Georgia is not the reason roads are not paved across this country. Georgia is not the reason electricity is not flowing across this country. Georgia inherited those things.
Okay, so that's the voice of Senator Darius DeLone. And he's saying that Joshua is not the reason you don't have electricity. Joshua is not the reason or that you see this country looking like this. So I think oppositions, they are now seeing the reality.
Our health sector is not resilient. Georgia is not the reason that we have a messy and weak education sector. Georgia is not the reason roads are not paved across this country. Georgia is not the reason electricity is not flowing across this country. Georgia inherited those things.
Okay, so the ending there, he said, George, we are inherited those things. So I just want to play this. I just wanted to play this clip to the Liberian people when I saw it over the weekend. I said, I'm going to play it so that they can know that even oppositions they announcing that George Weah is not the reason. So if you are for the Unity Party and you are seeing some of your hardcore members already saying that George Weah is not the reason that he inherited some of these things, then you should be able to stop the violence issue and stop being bitter with an individual who came and inherited all of these things and is trying to set or trying to fix these things within our country. If you want to vote Joseph Yuma Boaka, you go on and vote him and don't get malice in your heart for a person who inherited some of these things that you are seeing within Liberia. So that's just it, Grace. I don't know what you have to say about that, but I think we can take um some voices while we settle the live
Yeah,
issue.
I think we have the Simon Freeman voice there. Okay. It is okay. Let me bring you some teasers
Yeah.
while we trying to work on something here this morning. Let me playing this teaser for you. Okay. Don't be like the people of Nima who knowingly elected a senator and then carry petition to that senator to establish war crime court. Don't be like the people of Grand Chida County who knowingly elected a representative who is wanting a war crime
and hating this country, and then you take petition to that lawmaker to vote for war crime court. Referee never gave himself red card.
For me, I ride back on the main road based on traffic. That the reason I take the female from it because passing between car when there is traffic. If you pass it between car when there is female, sometimes it can be the cause of it making accident because the female can stop from moving between the cars. I can be safe. I ride back with our female because I also be mindful to be smart in riding back with our female because on the main road, when there is traffic between cars who pass, the female can permit all the pass between the cars. So that the reason I did not take the female for the feel relax.
We want to clearly say that the story caption that the Minister of State is in any kind of extra support to any other candidate is false, it's malicious, it is baseless. Whatever the source is, we think that it is intended to distract our voters, and we are calling on our electorates to remain focused, to listen to the leaders as the leaders have asked them to go and vote for the candidate.
I woke up in the morning full. I woke up with plastic. I can't I want to go. I can't on est bien. Voter sur la plaie. I say, I saw galé. Et ça, on push up pour le train. I can't. I pray down. Take it from there. I was scared. I say, I saw galé.
You cannot be in the health system and you are the one asking the public to get vaccinated, and you yourself is not being vaccinated. This is my disappointment with health workers, leading people and asking people to go ahead and get vaccinated, and you are not vaccinated. I know. Which professional are you? You don't believe what you preaching to people? How can you be your health workers? You found out that health workers are refusing to take the vaccine. They don't believe. Some of them don't believe in the vaccine.
I just want to debunk and nip in the bud that nonsense you're talking about me, about YouTube. I'm a Christian. I have never trade it for any foolishness called YouTube, and she must know where to apply for her fraud and her machinations. I'm not in her way. I don't know her. I don't want to know her. I have no interest in dealing with her. She should leave my name out of her business. I'm not in her way. I don't know her. So I'm just saying it's pure nonsense and foolishness. She's saying that I was talking with somebody about going to Joshua.
Do I look like someone afraid? The contract was given to Honorable Matthew Joe. Disappointingly, when the people came, the Indian consulate, along with the minister, came to visit the site, they were very disappointed on the way the money was spent. The other people came, they were not interested. The whole project was mismanaged.
Let the issues to develop our country should not be tied around politics. They should not be politicized. We want this country to benefit from what is truly deserved from the national cake of this country. But to holistically want to commit this country for a few, for a particular group of Europeans, I think that's totally unfair to the vast majority of our people. I would never come here to you today and say to you because I am a sedition, and I think everybody in this country should be sedition, and say because you're not a sedition, you do not have the right to survive. No, our messages will define us. We think this country will be fine, greater than what it is when its sons are united, when its sons are reconciled. We are against division in this country. We go against people, few group of people who continuously want to delve themselves into actions that stem a misconception about our country. My fundamental issue is that the leaders of this country must take leadership. They got to take leadership. The leaders of this country.
You're that one special woman I thought I'd never find, with the strength to be gentle.
Okay, sorry for that little break in, and welcome back. So we were talking about the fact that Abraham Darrows DeLong has admitted that the George Weah administration inherited the problem it has already. And I don't know if Samara can play that audio again before our guest walk in. If the George Weah administration inherited then where the problem is coming from.
That's the question.
Why are we having issues? Why are we fighting among ourselves? Why are we causing chaos for this country and think we are causing chaos for ourselves? If you think that Liberia problem can be solved by you, just make the recommendation and solve the problem. No need to start fighting, getting in the street, fighting among yourself just for no reason. Liberia belongs to every one of us. And I think Delon, in his wisdom, saw that before he started making that statement. So,
So
Samira,
let me take
I
the
want you to
audio.
play that audio again.
Yeah, now reasoning, our health sector is now resilient. Georgia is not the reason that we have a messy and weak education sector. Georgia is not the reason roads are not being across this country. Georgia is not the reason electricity is not flowing across this country. Georgia inherited those things. Georgia is not the reason our health sector is not resilient. Georgia is not the reason that we have a messy and weak education sector. Georgia is not the reason roads are not being across this country. Georgia is not the reason electricity is not flowing across this country. Georgia inherited those things.
So that's the voice of Darius Dillon. So I think the live thing is should just be on a pause because we can't have we can have one camera right now. So I think it should be paused yet till we see about that. But we just got a call that our guest is here already and it's
So let
7:59.
us pause that Delon thing. Let us invite our guest in and see
So I will
what we
take a
have
short break.
for today. So I'll just take a short break. We'll come back. The camera will be on, but it will focus on the studio. Then yeah, we'll focus on the guest, and we'll have our guest in studio with us. So let us get our guest name, and we'll be right back. Okay, we already have the name, everything. So we are happy this morning that she will be joining us. She's a very, very beautiful woman. The first person will be a male. We have Patrick. I think you already know this name. When the name Vanilla is announced in any radio station, you know that he's a bomb. So he's here this morning to be elaborating on training issues on things that are affecting this country and how we can put Liberia on the path of progression. So Vanilla Patrick will be our guest this morning. We'll be in studio this morning as we elaborate on the fact that Liberia needs to get better and Liberia will get better. No matter what, we will get there. Development is what we are anxious for, and development we shall get. If Liberia will get better, it have to start with you and myself. If Liberia will get better, it have to start with you and myself. If we are to develop this country, we have to start it now. The life we live determine our recommendations tomorrow. If you think you can do better from where you are, keep doing that thing that you do that uh is helping to push this country on the right path. Don't you get deterred by anything you're doing to contribute to society. So this morning, our guest is Vanilla Patrick. He will be here this morning to talk about national issues. So we will now usher our guest for us to discuss. But this morning, we're looking at the fact that Abraham Darius DeLone said that President Weah inherited what he had today. So he shouldn't be questioned, he shouldn't be judged, he shouldn't be insulted, he shouldn't be pushed. Because this country problem is not or one day problem is something that been existing for a very long time. So do you concur with what he's saying? Or is Delon trying to pass over to that of the CDC? All these politicians today they are on this side, tomorrow they're on this side. We don't know which one is which. We don't know who to believe. Today they will tell you this, tomorrow they tell you another thing. All we can do is to keep on pushing to make sure that Liberia is on the right path. So this morning we have two guests that will be visiting us. And a matter of fact that the two of them will not be in at the same time, they will come separately. Our first guest will be here. She will be here from Willietta Copa will be here from 9 to 10. And this our second guest, sorry, is Willietta Copa. She will be here for 9 to 10. And our first guest is Patrick. He will be shortly. So let's take this short break to usher our guest in right now. But I think they're supposed to be here anytime soon, so no need to take a break. Let's just stay put and see because we are expecting them to come anytime soon. So this morning we look at the fact that Dylan make this statement. We don't know why he said it or where it's coming from, but all we can say is that Liberia first, Liberia last. If we are to develop this country, it has to start with us. Liberia is all we have. So Fenelia Patrick will be our guest. Tough talking Patrick. Let's see what he has to tell the Liberian people this morning. Let's just squeeze in this break. When we come back, we'll bring our guest.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, welcome back to the program. Good morning, Liberia. We are here this morning, my team and I. But we have a guest in studio who will be elaborating on national issues happening in our country. Samira, can you interact with the guest and let's know what we'll be discussing this morning?
Okay, so when we talk about Mandela Patricks, we all know who he is. His name is not new to the media. This is someone who we think he will contribute or he has contributed to Liberia. But nevertheless, we have him in studio this morning so that he can tell us, what he's here for this morning. So good morning, Mr. Patricks.
Good morning to the listening public and to both of you. I want to be very grateful in terms of honoring this. I'm very happy this morning. Most importantly, this is political season, and being the senatorial candidate of my Gidi county, I'm sorry for the poor quality of my voice. There have been series of engagements for the past months, but it has intensified recently. So it's an opportunity to speak to the people of Liberia because many of those who are listening to me come from Maigibi or Mosorado. And we know that a lot of people who reside in Mosorado also register in Maigibi. So it's good to be on your platform. And I want to say thank you. I see the beautiful studio, and I'm very happy to be here this morning.
Okay, so we would like to say welcome to Voice of Liberia. This is your first debut here?
Oh no, I've been here. When I was in Europe a couple of months ago, I spoke here with Sekou Sharif, and then when I came back, I had a time to have a wonderful conversation, with Mr. Sekou Sharif. But that was before the election.
Okay, Grace, go ahead.
Okay, how are you? And I know you will relax and you rather tell the Liberian people what they need to hear. So what inspired you in getting into politics?
So I've been inspired by my poor upbringing. I was born and raised in poverty. My late father was a career rubber tapper from Firestone. He was uneducated. I grew up believing that poverty was a way of life because I had no one to inspire me. Along the line, I felt that education was a vaccine that could kill poverty. I struggled to go to school. I lived as a house boy just to acquire an education. Over a period of time, I have transformed my life through education. I became a voice in this country. I was physically and psychologically tortured for speaking against corruption. After many years, I still see the same system that deprived me of education, that subjected me into poverty, that caused a lot of people to die. And I became convinced that I need to transition from activism to public elected office. I want to transform this country. I want to be a participant in the transformation of this country from within. Transitioning from activism to public elected office will give me a bigger platform to advocate more for my people, to review some of those bar concession agreements that have undermined the tenets of democratic values and principles in this country. It will give me a platform to advocate, to represent the image of Liberia. Also, being a senator, you will serve in an ambassadorial position to convince the international community that Liberia is ready for a new change. Liberia is ready for business. I want to be that change agent. 38 years ago, my generation was told we were the future leaders of this country, specifically in Margibi. Margibi was established 1985, December 15. But it is regrettable that 38 years ago, a group of underprivileged, marginalized people, their voices have not been heard in the Senate. We think we are underrepresented in this country, and that's why Fandela Patrick is making a significant transition from activism to public elected office, specifically the House of Senate. If you look at the cloud that is hanging over Margibi, we lack a lot of things. Poor healthcare right now, Margibi is blacklisted because 800,000 United States dollars disappeared from CH Rennie Hospital. And the United States government, through USAID, is asking the government of Liberia to give full account. We have poor health care. There is deplorable educational system. The workers' rights in Firestone, in FRC, in other concession areas in Margibi, they are being abused. The young people do not have jobs. Margibi State survives on a county development fund of 425,000 United States dollars. When the country has a population of 230,000 people, it is regrettable that a country with so much mineral resources, with so much companies, we are still surviving on less than 500,000 United States dollars. I'm dreaming about in Margibi, where we will have an operating budget of not less than $5 million to build our roads, improve our healthcare system, give our young people better education, advocate for workers' rights, give macro loan to our people to do business, and of course, present a different personality of a new Margibi. Tourism. Margibi is a touristic, setting area. Ghana makes almost $1 billion in tourism.
So
We want to reintroduce these kinds of methods in our country, and it will be a very good thing to see a young man who has struggled, gone through the ranks and file, paid his dues, being physically, psychologically tortured, speaking against corruption, going in the House of Senate to repeal some of those bar concession agreements, speak against the ills in society, and ensure we hold people accountable because of what they are doing.
So, Mr. Patches, I'm going to hold you there and ask you what are some of the initiatives you have taken on in Margibi County, or how have you impacted the lives of Margibians or Liberians at large?
So specifically, I say this to you. I was born and raised in a family that was deprived of everything.
Okay.
I'm a victim of poverty.
Okay.
Like I said to you, I saw education as a vaccine to kill poverty. When I enrolled at Cardinal University 2004, I established a non-profit called Campaigners for Change. It used to be called Show Liberia. And the intentionality of my action was meant to give education to some of the most marginalized groups of people in this country. Many of my friends, we saw these little girls coming to the dormitories to watch people close, and I was inspired because I've been in hospital before. These were the same jobs that I did. And I went to my colleagues, look, we can do something to give these young people an education. I'm talking about in Bonkante. From 2004, we have provided several scholarships in Bonkante, in Margibi, and Mosorado. I tell you right now, if you go to St. Teresa's Convent, I don't know whether Mrs. Gray stayed there, they will tell you Fandela Patrick Sholadro has student on scholarship. If you go to see or ask for Miss Ines, they will tell you Fandela Patrick inspire people here. If you go to Mr. Johnson Apostolic Foundation, we have people now on scholarship. If you go to Don Bosco Technical High School, you ask for the administrator, I'm told, Father Plakai is not there again. They will tell you we have our math.
Okay.
You go to JJ Roberts, you ask for Mr. Sagbe, they will tell you Fandela Patrick transform land. I'm not talking about Maigibi.
Okay.
Nearly all the schools in Maigibi, we have made impact.
Okay.
No senatorial candidate in Maigibi.
Mm.
I'm not talking about political scholarships.
Mhm.
No one has provided scholarships equal to this young man who was deprived of education. But I used my international connection to raise money to send people to school. We've been giving microloans to our people.
So you can't telling the public what's your inspiration?
My inspiration, like I said, I've been inspired
Mm-hmm.
by the appalling living conditions of our people.
Okay.
Look, it is indecent for someone to be deprived, to be robbed of their resources. I've been inspired because I see myself as a generational champion.
Okay.
I want to bring change in this country. When you see people living in abject poverty, you get reminded of where you come from. Like I said, the people looked down on me when I was growing up. It will interest you to note I used to smell with couplers and those of us who went to school in Firestone.
Mm.
And the Habian multilateral people will deliberately choose not to stay near me because of the odor from the rubber.
Mm.
But today, I see thousands of people. As I go around the plantation, as I tour my gibi, I see how companies are robbing our people. For example, you see these Chinese companies, Lebanese companies, they are extracting rocks to construct the roads. Go see the environmental pollution. Go see the holes they have left. When you go into those communities where they are taking the rocks and the people are getting nothing. For example, one truck load of crushed rocks from my investigation in the community is sold for $700. And they make 20 trips a day. 20 times 700 is 14,000 a day. If you multiply that amount by 24 days in a month, it costs you 336,000 United States dollars. If you multiply that by 1 year, it will give you 700 on the 500 on the 6,000. Multiply that amount in 6 years, it's 4,032,000 United States dollars. But go into the community. There's no corporate social responsibility. The people are not benefiting. Look, I want to be a senator to sit with them. That's what inspired me. To say, how can you take resources from these communities and you keep the people in utter poverty? There's no latrine, there's no clinic, there's no hospital. I have also been inspired because my community is a concession area. You have Firestone, you have SRC, you have Jet Corporation, you have China Union, you have Farmington Hotel, and several other companies.
Okay.
The law says every company that operates in the country, they must remit at least 10% of their revenue. My BB is being deprived of these opportunities. I want to be a hope. I want to ask the hard questions. And that's why I have been inspired. I want to ask, how much have you been giving? You, as a journalist, many of us, we don't know. We don't want to operate a government, a country in secrecy. That is not a Zobuj. I want to be in transparency, in governance. I want to hold people accountable. We want to protect some of those companies because we know there are some public officials that will deliberately, cajole them or intimidate them to give something against their will. I also want to protect them.
Okay. So I listened to you elaborate on the things you want to do for Margibi County. Have you taken into consideration that Margibi, like for example, the Firestone concession, Are you taking into consideration that that concession has been reviewed time over and over again, and still the people are still living in a deplorable condition? Are you waiting to be a senator before you help them?
Oh no, when you have a position, we have advocated, but our positions, our advocacy is limited. We don't vote. I have taken many struggles. We have spoken against bad labor practices. We have spoken against the ills in society. We have spoken against the intimidation of our workers and the appalling living conditions. But when we take the petition to the government, we have limitation as an activist. What I want to do, getting into the Senate will give me a bigger platform. We will not just advocate, I will participate in the making of the decision. When there is a debate in the plenary, Fandela Patrice will be in the plenary to debate, to make sure we advance recommendations that will be in the best interest of our people. Whether we voting yes or no, Fandela will participate. Besides, I believe I want to institute a method that resembles that of the mentality of an ego. The ego doesn't fight on the ground, it fights in the air. There are many things in this country, especially when it comes to concession agreement, bad labor practices, you don't handle it on Liberian soil. There are laws in the United States that prohibit foreign companies from the United States coming to this country or other parts of the world to make sure they violate the rights of our people. If you have a senator who understands American law, who understands American policy, it is easy as a sitting senator to write the United States Congress officially complaining some of their bad companies operating on Liberian soil, and they will treat them and they will hold them accountable in accordance with American laws. This is possible. People have tried in Kenya, it works. They have tried in Ghana, it works. It is only here when these companies come, they intimidate our people. Fandela Patrick wants to be a voice. I'm not saying I have to be a senator before I do that. I have done that. We have advocated. Just so you know, we resisted Firestone on so many occasions. 1999, for example, the only high school in Lower Magiri, Abel Moto Latwa. These people were deliberately intending to take over that school and make it into a company school so that many of our brothers and sisters would be deprived education because it was only going to be used for staff of Firestone. Fandela Patrice, the likes of Abel Nyenge and Thomas Juma, we told them that this is illegal. We will not allow any form of encroachment to take over the public institution, transfer into a public, or company school. It will not be in the best interest of our people. Today, as a result of that advocacy, you see thousands of people have graduated from Abel Multilateral and the school is still standing. But one thing we want to make this very clear to our people. You see, I always say this. In life, you have limitations, and for some of us who wanting to bring about change in this country, we see people practicing how to go into government to waste our time. Fandela Patrick would not be a part of that decision. And that's the reason why I decided to contest to be the next senator of Maigibi, not just for Maigibi, but to represent the image of this country. The category of leaders in any country will determine how development comes into development comes
Okay,
into
so let me just hold you right there and ask you, what is it that the current senator has done for which you want to change and why?
I think we are not trying to go into that. In the first place,
Why?
when I made a decision to contest,
Mhm,
I met the senator that we want to replace.
mhm,
I walked to his office. I told him I wanted to have an audience.
mhm,
He granted me the audience.
Mm.
And I went, my first question, Senator Jim Tonola,
Mm.
are you going for re-election or not?
mhm.
He said, no, I'm not going for re-election.
Okay.
And I said, okay, me, I'm running for the Senate. And we laughed about that. He said, young man, I like your inspiration.
Mhm,
I like your humility.
mhm,
It will be very difficult for you to see other people coming to make these kind of interventions.
mhm.
He shared with me, he said, look, I'm not going for re-election. But my DB has so many challenges. He talks about bar concession agreements. He talks about healthcare system. He talks about education. He said he played his part. And he looks up to a new breed of leaders to continue from there. And I told him, I am one of those new breed of leaders that you are talking about. We discussed. But what I have seen is that might be the voice, that powerful voice that is needed to engage companies operating in our country to talk about the bad labor practices. That voice is absent. Even today, as we speak, there's nowhere in the world, only in Liberia, that a company will employ someone. You work for them for 25, 30 years. They rob you of your retirement benefit. The only thing Fireson did was to send our people to NASCOP to collect Social Security. Let me make
Okay, Mr. Patrick, I want to hold you there.
No, let me just clarify before you can quickly.
Because you will be clarifying. I would like to ask my question.
No, I don't want to slip on this issue.
Okay, go ahead, clarify.
Let me tell you, when you work for a company, you are entitled to your retirement benefit. When you come to Social Security, it's the money, because once you are in the employ of a company, Social Security costs certain amount. So once you are retired, you come to Social Security, you get additional money. So you have two types of benefit. But Firestone cancel that. When they retire our people, they send them to National Social Security and get their retirement benefits in Social Security. That is ridiculous. The government in the past and even now has been corrupt. There's no way you send a reindeer will go into a church to worship where the lion or the leopard is the bishop. That deer rather is saying than to go for salvation.
Okay, Mr. Patrick, let's look at the fact that you are coming to contest this election. What is the policies you bringing on board right now?
I bring a lot of policy. In the first place, we want to make corruption non-bailable. Non-bailable crime. We must treat corruption like crimes against humanity.
You think it's possible?
It's possible.
Then why are you not advocating for the World Economic Crime Court?
I am a proponent. I am one of those vocal voices, vocal individuals. You know, I went to jail in this country for advocating for World Economic Crime.
We know.
In fact, in Washington, D.C., I protested. I didn't write. I took letters, went to Human Rights Watch, we went to United States Congress, I delivered. I had the time to participate in congressional setting in the U.S. to talk about World Economic Crime.
Then that's my question. If you're supposed to be now pushing the World Economic Crime Court, then come with another policies to make corruption not bailable or something.
No. War and economic crime is clear. That one they say war and economic crime. That is in the character of those people committed mayhem in this country.
Yeah, there are also the people that looted our country.
They looted. Okay, now we know that other one is set, but this one we're talking about, for example, you see public officials who never had $10, or $10,000 car. They get into government, they begin to deplete state resources. And when you take them to court, the law will tell you, oh, they have to have this. We want to introduce a bill making corruption non-bailable. Once you smell with corruption, send as a public official. The General Auditing Commission, along with the LACC, will intervene. They will be communicated. They intervene when there is probable cause of indictment. Once you are indicted, not more than 1 year, a special prosecutor must be appointed, and the case is assigned in different parts of the country, and that case must be adjudicated in 1 year. It does not make sense somebody steal 10 million and you stay dragging the person to court for 5 years, it can be convicted. We want to ensure that corruption becomes non-bailable. If we don't fight corruption in this country to save more money and invest in the people, poverty will come knocking at our doors.
Don't you think that if the World Economic Crime Court comes today, there will be a clause in the economic side of it that talk about corruption?
Well, I don't know yet. I think what we are more concerned about is to serve as deterrent. People who kill our people, people who loot state resources in this country. We're talking about the new ones that are coming. Now we are talking about the past. What they did in the past. You know, And that is the reason why people say they must prosecute people who committed mayhem against our people during the 14-year civil unrest. Some of them depleted state resources. They are mass web at the detriment of the people, and some of them killed our people. We are advocating for the atrocities, economic and physical atrocity they committed against
So
our
when you
people.
become senator, that will be your main target.
No. That is not just a main target. It's one of those targets. We want to make sure that corruption becomes non-billable. We don't also want to, let me say this, 90% of the budget is spent on administrative costs.
Okay.
Let's be honest. How can you have 5 ministries? One minister rides a car that costs almost 100,000, 90,000. Assistant minister, 50,000. Deputy minister, maybe 60,000 or 75,000. Look, we can save more money. And this is the reason why some of us who are running on the ticket of the Martin Broom Revolution, the LPP.
Oh, you were LPP, I know, right?
LPP, we want to fight corruption.
So you
Save
want you
more
to
money.
talk about your party manifesto quickly.
We will talk about that, but I'm just trying to give you an insight of what we think is going to be significant in the fight against corruption. One of the reasons we went to war because few people hijacked state resources in this country and kept millions of people into utter poverty. I am a victim of that. People who are listening to me, they are victims of poverty. And that's the reason why, look, we want to, I personally as a senator, whoever becomes president, we are saying to you clearly, and we think as a Bungalow can implement that particular project in terms of, look, how can you ride a car 90,000? Is it impossible to say, look, we buy you car under the minister or the deputy, we have utility vehicles, maybe buy about 5 pickups and keep it because they have long duration. We pay you good money. If you're making 2,005, maybe we'll make it 4,000. You buy your own car, no gas slip, you don't have car, we don't have driver. You drive your car, you go to the ministry, you want to move around the city, you have utility vehicle. You can get inside, you go all around 5 o'clock, the cars are packed. We'll save more money, we'll invest in our people. Rather than giving one man 60,000 car, you gave him 1,000 of gas slip, you gave him squash car, you gave him driver, he abused state resources, he go into the club, he calls the driver, he go into funeral, use gas slip. We don't want that to happen. You don't find that anywhere.
Okay, so what sets you apart from all of the candidates who are contesting in Margibi County, and why should Margibians elect you?
I think I have a stock of credentials. I have a history of advocacy. The lawmaking house is a place to talk for people, to advocate for people. And this is a young man who has been in activism for the past 15 years. There's no record of hypocrisy in my activism. There's no record of deception. There's no record of stealing. I have been tested, I've been tried, I've been resilient. You need a leader who will not back down.
Okay.
That's one. Number 2, I have an integrity. I believe my story resonates with the people that I'm talking for. I want to lead. I come from a very poor background. Many of the people that are listening to me, they know my story. I struggled to reach at this point. And because of that, they see me as a voice. The only person that can talk for them is someone that was there.
Let's talk about your main contender in person of Nathaniel.
How do you derive at that point?
But you can see.
No.
You can see for yourself that when they're having rallies or anything, the people will be putting in.
The last time I checked, there's no statistical evidence.
I'm not talking about statistics. We are being realistic here.
No, it's not being realistic. Let me just give you,
Okay, who do you consider your main competitors right now?
My competitors are corruption, human rights violation, bad labor practices that are affecting our people.
I'm talking about winning the senatorial seat in Margibi County.
Winning the senatorial seat, I want to make it very clear. Mr. McGee has no history of winning leadership. He contested in Margibi. Maybe you don't know. He contested in Babylon 2014. At the time, CDC was very powerful opposition. Bapolu, that has nothing that called radio station where people will listen. In Bapolu, he could not obtain 2,000 votes. He got 1,600.
But you have not won any election also. So
no, he has been tested and failed. I'm telling you, got no history or win. Besides, Mike Gibby don't elect criminals. Mike Gibby don't elect people who are stigmatized. Mike Gibby don't elect strangers.
You know, he has not gone to court and been tried yet.
Oh, no. Listen. They get two types of court. Court of public opinions. He has been convicted in the court of public
opinion from the Western world, not from Liberia.
No, the court of public opinion is the media here. And
the media has not labeled him because we don't have any proof.
What?
They are all speculations. There are not any facts presented to the Liberian people.
No, let me give you a clear cut. The court of public opinion is clear. One, I'd like to give you an example. I was accused in this country of trying to overthrow the government. I was prevented from traveling. I could invade justice. You know what I did? I went to court, compelled the government of Liberia to provide evidence, because I knew one day people would say Mandela had ulterior motive. I went to court, compelled the government. I went to court, criminal code A. I defeated the government. I got the clearance and walked out of this place to go and carry on international development and come back. Number two, this government, at the time Mr. McGill was in power, Brani Samuka was accused in the court of public opinion of stealing money from the AFL. And this man said he did not steal. His government took him to court to exonerate himself. He was found guilty, and the senatorial seat he won was taken away from him. He came back. He too was accused. Liberian people accused him of stealing. I'm talking about the former minister of
I know, but we don't have any proof.
No.
So you are saying he should go to court.
So, listen, if you are going for public office, you know the law is not only applicable to the accuser, but there are many indicators that point towards, number one, he was accused of stealing. He resigned.
Of course.
So why did he resign?
Because there are a lot of cries from other people requesting that he resign.
No. If somebody accused me of rape, I'm going to go admit that Fandela, because everybody talking Fandela rape, so I'll go say, yeah, rape. Let me tell you, if you know you are guilty or you are not guilty, you should never allow.
I think he resigned because he was preparing towards the election.
No,
he may go to court if the needs arise.
No, you in the media will have to be very clear. He resigned at the time. He was accused that he stole from this country. He looted state resources in this country, and he does not have the moral credential to preside at the ancillum of power. And you know what?
We all know the code of conduct if you want to contest for public office.
I'm not concerned about code of conduct.
Okay, we also looking at the fact that okay, go ahead, Samara.
But then as an activist, you should be able to agree that the Constitution says one is not proven guilty until
you
one is, but I just told you, I was accused. I'm saying Lilo should set standard.
I know, but the fact that the code of conduct also say that you can resign 2 years prior to you contesting on public.
But let's look at the circumstance. Lorena is sitting in the studio, and somebody, maybe groups of people come, you owe and 500, and the nurse come to the radio station, then you resign. God forbid, I'm not happy.
God forbid.
You know, I'm just saying something. When you do that, people will say, but why you cannot resign in public policy. You don't resign in the midst of controversy. When you resign in the midst of controversy, you know what message it sends? It speaks volume of the circumstances at that moment that made you to resign. This man was passing around, abusing state resources, going from one corner to another. In fact, the CDC government should be ashamed, because this was the same government that accused previous government of stealing state resources.
So Patrick, what is stopping you and the others from taking him to court?
No. I think my Gibeons are going to be the jurors. That's why we're not wasting our time.
So you are 100% sure that the people from Mike Gibby will elect
my
senator?
Mike Gibby knows Fandela Patrick's more than any other candidate. I've been an icon in this country.
Okay.
And one thing people have to understand in this country, you know, crowd politics. If it were one election, Thomas Fowler locked down SKD. 2020, he locked down SKD.
Yeah, we all know about that.
Today, after locking down SKD, he's now in Lofa County contesting to be a representative.
Okay, let's go to our Facebook page. From there, we switch to the phone line. We have tough talking Fendera Patrick, who will not even allow you. If you give him a chance, he will take your studio from you. He's here this morning to elaborate on why the people of Mike Gibby should elect him as senator comes October 10. So we have the first one here, Samira. I should go ahead. Or you have it?
Go ahead. I'll take the rest for the course.
Gabo said, VP, I supporting Nathaniel McGill. Honorable George Watkins said, good morning, everyone. And Stephen Fowler said, I'm watching. John J. Wama said, good morning, I'm following live from Johnsonville. Ahmed Hammer said, monitoring live from Clark City. And with 50 days to elections, the peace of this country depends on every Liberian. V. Mohammed Shavi said, good morning, VOA watching from South Korea. MacArthur says, focus on your campaign and forget about my girl, dude. Pape Keita said, good morning. Liberia-VOL CDC Pape. Success Keita from Dupero.
Okay, so I think just
The last one is Henry Moruba said, that CDC station, Henry Moruba, you always accusing us and we asking the necessary questions.
Always accusing
Don't
us.
accuse people that you don't have. That's the same thing Mr. Patrick is talking about honesty. You that preaching equity come with clean hands, my brother Henry Maluba. Okay, so go ahead.
So just before going to the phone lines, I would like for Mr. Patrick to address the issue. What formula are you coming with to ensure a good working environment for workers in Markibi like Firestone and LAC?
LEC?
LAC.
Oh, LAC.
Yes.
Liberia Agricultural Company.
Yes.
This pension issue in this country, not just these companies. It's an attack and it undermines the workforce. Can you imagine? I want to introduce a policy in this country. You don't have to retire after working for a company for 25 years and maybe you are in your 60. Then you go for retirement benefit. You cannot be in your 60 years, you build your dream house. One of the policies I want to bring about is after you have successfully worked for a company for maximum 15 years, you must be entitled to 50% of your benefit so you can begin to invest in the people in your family so that after retirement, you get a balance 50 and you go. Because I have seen people who retire and they are running after their retirement benefits. At the end of the day, they die into the process. Secondly, we want to sit with various trade unions or agricultural workers unions.
Okay, thank you very much. We don't have time. If we don't have time, you're not interact with the public. We have our second guest already on our back. So let's take your calls and interact with the public. You can chip that in at the end, okay, for your parting statement. So call us on 0770-907-907, 080-907-907. Call us this morning as we interact with Mr. Patrick from Mangi Bikate. He's telling us why the Liberian people or the people from Mangi should elect him as senator comes October 10 election. So you can call us on 0770-907-907 and 0880-907-907. Yes, you are saying something. Okay, I think we have. Let's squeeze in this one.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, Nime, where are you calling from?
Chris, we are on the conversation for this number 11.
Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much, Patrick. You being one of the persons that have followed so dearly on social media and all of the work and activities that you have been doing over the years for the sake of our Liberia. You know, to the issue of corruption, you know, I felt so sad because corruption has been institutionalized in our country. You know, whenever somebody who is honest is speaking against corruption, that person will not in the favor of this society that we find ourselves in. You know, the society of us, those that commit serious.
Okay, him breaking in.
Who have corrupt our entire system. These are people that our society is not for. You know, it pay back to go and exploit the people at their own detriment. You know,
okay, we're taking this one. Good morning.
Good morning, brother Labiro.
Go ahead. Your name and where you calling from?
My name is Frank Nascimento, chair on research and propaganda of the Oscar Medal. And I'm calling this morning from my Dagestan Regional 13 resident.
Go ahead.
Yeah, let me appreciate people from Dara Patrick in studio. You know, at the time knowing Vandala, knowing at the time you were arrested at the United Party the government at the time. And today, in many way too, and today is this deal. So I mean, give you applause for that. People, I respect you, but I want to ask you, the senatorial race that you are contested in Mankibi, which of the party are you running on?
He said that he called the party name earlier.
Yeah, I know. I just followed that. I just want to know.
Go ahead, Chief. The party name.
No, let's take the question.
Okay, just ask your question. He will not interact with you separately.
Yeah, my question to the people are serious is, you know, now the CDC are massively serious, and day to day we are seeing they are putting on a criminal to run a ticket with Nagama McGill, and I want to know which yardstick put in place as when you letter to see how best you can maneuver a way to say about this particular man can be investigated properly when you get the death come to.
Your question is noted. Your name and where you calling from?
Good morning.
Go ahead. Your name and where you calling from? Good morning. Your name and where you calling from?
This is the voice of Lasana J. Masale. I join you from the committee of. Let me say thank to the studio guest there. I listened to him when you were at.
You're breaking in, brother.
What making to say that? If
Please walk away a little bit and call back, okay?
break up some.
Yeah, you're breaking in. So terrible. So, Samira, we should go to the Facebook page or should I continue with the course? Okay, let's take this one.
Hello.
Good morning. Good morning.
This is my Kopo Howard. The name is studio there is my son. I know Patrick is the right person because when he said this is wrong, he means it is wrong, and he can't go to do what is wrong that he said is wrong. So my son, this is our mother. I got your back. I come in Maggie B there to run campaign for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you registered in Maggie B?
Yes, I run campaign.
Yeah, in Maggie B.
Okay.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where do you join us from?
My name is Carmen Kevlar, calling from 213 Cinco.
Okay, Carmen, go ahead.
Yeah. You know, Mr. Patrick, thank you for your decision, but the people strongly believe in my girl. Sometimes, you know, I got family people living on that side. I keep asking them who the candidate are on their mind. And then they keep telling me, say, I say, you sure? And they will tell me, say, Mr. Michael is going to be victorious. You know, around here, as soon as they do small advocacy, nothing else again they won't do. They just think about going into the house. And they also mature people. That's my own contribution. Thank you.
Thank you too. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. You are live.
Let me say good morning to all of you students. My name is Alvin Dana, and I call from the US job.
Okay, Alvin.
Let me appreciate and be a Patrick in studio for all of the collaboration. I have a question for you. We try as a senator and saying that Mr. Natara Mate stole a black people money. And he said now he will give your money. Therefore, you say you are Liberian. So it's more than they have stole money there. Which everybody say that the next will go later when the government needs to out revoking her, they say arrested. And therefore, we not because of lack of our understanding. So for the allow us to laugh at the public. Why can't you go to the court and go through this particular man? To the war and the black program is what the public took the initiative to catch the court so they make a prove that non guilty or guilty.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Your question is well understood. So you can put through your calls on 0770-907-907, 0880-907-907. We just have a few more minutes for calls, and we'll go over to Patrick for him to respond to all of your questions. So if we're not getting call, I think you can take the Facebook comments, Chris.
Okay. So Martha said, watching you from Minnesota, USA this morning. Martha said, I hope you get money to campaign, Patrick. Henry said, my girl did not resign because of the code of conduct. He resigned because of the sanction from the United States government. And MacArthur said, why most of you Liberian activists always turn to be politicians running for public offices? Good morning, Yanime. Where are you calling from?
Morning.
Yeah.
How are you?
Go ahead.
I'm Holmes, calling from Boma Bridge.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You know, let me just say something. And about Liberia. We Liberia, we are people that are not civilized, we are not decent. You compare to our neighbor, Mr. Leon, people that talk part in corruption and what they are begging out. For Liberia, the only thing we brace people who are accused of corruption, they will dare defending them. Nobody ever to take them to court. And the second thing is that Liberian, we are better driven. Once you have the money, you will win election. Trust me. What kind of character you have, we don't care. You can kill us, you can do anything. Once you can provide all the chicken feed, the chicken will win the election, we go for you. So, Patrick, you are taking a brave step, but you got to do more. Because wherever you stay there, people will not trust you. They believe in Mago, who corrupted the country, who robbed everything when they say it. Nobody can stand against Mago. And Mago is passing around the big car, building the big horses. Thank you.
Thank you too. Thank you.
Okay.
So, I think we can take the last call and then.
Morning.
Morning.
Yeah, I'm Chiani S. Robert to join from Kawe.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to applaud the people in studio there, Honorable Patrick. You know, my GPS here, I don't know what really wrong with the Liberians, but the person who have been accused of corruption now, they are pushing for him that is not a criminal. And if my GPS are forgetting to know that man is just going that country to steal from that country, but they don't know. They just sitting because they make money, they make getting money out to them, so they feel that the man is doing good for now. They may doing that to get a country and take something from there that they didn't say would not even expect.
Okay.
So so my I've been accused of corruption. So
okay, thank you. Yep.
Yanime, where are you calling from? Good morning, Yanime. Where are you calling from? Good morning. Okay, I think this person is not ready. Call us on 0770-907-907, 0880-907-907. Good morning, Yanime. Where are you calling from? Okay, we lost that person. Let's pick this one. Okay. Yanime, where are you calling from? Okay, this is an overseas number. Good morning, Yanime. Where are you calling from? Okay, I'm not getting you, so call us back. Call us back. I think this person is calling from the USA. So let me take it again. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing? My name is Henry K. Morba. I call you from Lexington, Kentucky.
Okay, go ahead.
I just want to tell my people, Patrick, thank you. But the Liberian people, they don't care what somebody see from them. They'll always vote for the person that robbing them, that robbing our country. And again, Adana Makeo did not resign because of the code of conduct. He resigned because of the sanction that was put on him from the Muskie Act. So I'll get that straight because I listened to it. He said man resigned because of the code of conduct.
Thank you.
That's
We
my
know.
contribution
We're
this morning.
just trying to say he resigned in line, maybe with the code of conduct. So thank you very much. And it could be you can tell. So we don't have much time. Your party comment. Our next guest is in queue.
So
I think yes.
Just address
So,
a few comments. And
no. The comments were many. Somebody said, as an activist, why I can't take the man to court? Let me say this very clear. The CDC government has has not done justice specifically in that situation. All the speculations you see, you have heard, it wouldn't have been said on the radio if the government of the Republic of Liberia had taken these individuals indicted for looting state resources to court, like the way they did it with Brani Samuka. They accused Brani Samuka of stealing, they dragged him to court. We expected this government to have also taken them to court so they can exonerate themselves. And Fandela Patrice is now asking the people of Magibi to give a verdict on October 10 to send a signal that criminals or people who lose their resources are not welcome in Magibi. My sister Game talk about House of Senate is for mature people. This is a kind of idea that has been implanted in our mind. What is maturity? Mature people don't steal. Mature people do not go corrupting the minds of the people. The House of Senate is a place of hardcore activism and intellectual activities where public policy experts go and debate national issues, take some of the laws that are violating the rights of our people, replace them with good ones. Patrice come with all these credentials. I'm a public policy expert. I'm not trying to brag about my education, but coming from a very poor background, receiving a scholarship from the US government to go abroad, acquire an education, obtain a master's degree at the Harvard Kennedy School, coming back in this country, and somebody saying we are not mature, I think we need to reconsider that. Somebody talked about a party ticket. I made it very clear I'm running on a ticket of the Liberian People's Party, of Councillor Tiawan Gonglo. You know, it remains Liberia's most iconic leaders in terms of fighting corruption. So that is very clear. Someone also talk about, money to campaign. A money who have won election in this country. With no disrespect. Vanessa will have become our president. Clemency Ure will have become the next senator. Thomas Fala, like I said, he locked down the entire Maserati. Today, he's in Lobakante. After locking down, the question will be, but why now, after shaking the entire Maserati? Let me just conclude to our people. I'm saying this to all of you, those who are listening to the sound of my voice. Africa, specifically Liberia, will only transition from a bad state governance to a very good place where you have new breed of leaders. Fandela wants to bring about intergenerational representation. In this country, we're being deprived of opportunity to represent our people. Imagine Fandela Patrice going into the Senate. I'll bring more opportunity to the government because I have integrity, I have the connections, I have the networks, compared to people who the international community has already placed a dark cloud. I think they will contribute to the more suffering of our people in this country. As I leave, I want our people in my GB to understand, and all of you who are listening to the sound of my voice, I want you to join this political process. Fandela is fighting a generational cause. It's not Fandela's election. I am standing in the gap of those thousands of young people who have been deprived the opportunity to get a better education, to have a good healthcare system, and who are deprived the opportunity to represent their people. We need your support. Just in case you want to reach us by phone, you can call us. This is our campaign number. You can call us and reach out with whatever suggestion, contribution. You can call 0881-719-882, 0881-719-882, or perhaps you can call the second number 0777-1137-02, 0777-1137-02. Once again, it was a privileged opportunity being here to see these two beautiful young people from Liberia. I'm dreaming that one day you will extend this thing to CNN or perhaps the BBC, because every million mile starts with a single step.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I want to stand as African soldier. African soldiers to fight for freedom. I want to start African soldiers now. African soldiers to fight for freedom. Some are dead and some are living. Those that are dead are still fighting on. Those that are living are still fighting. Chaka Zulu, African soldier. Listen, let's say African soldier. Nambia Tigiwe, African soldier. Bruma, African soldier. Jomo Kenyatta, African soldier. Patrice Lumumba, African soldier. Marcus Garvey, African soldier. African soldier, show your power. Show your power, free your people now. Your people now. From economic hazard, save your people. From political nonsense, save your people. From economic rubbish, save your people. From political yabbies, save Africa. From economic jargon, attention African soldiers. We're still calling African soldiers. African soldiers to fight for freedom. About my only African soldiers. About to build up African soldiers. African soldiers. Dr. Steve Biko, African soldiers. Yes, Augustine.